Hello everybody, welcome to your daily pop of positivity. How is everybody? I just started the camera and then I had to re-secure it because sometimes if the weight of the camera is too far in the front, it'll pull everything over, so I had to recalibrate it. I love these cards so much and I'm so glad that I was reunited with them the day before yesterday, so I want to use these for some of the daily pops. I think they're so beautiful, and I think I might incorporate these also in my next podcast because they have the most beautiful sentiments and they're really lovely. So let's start with feeling good will bring me far more than whatever I thought I needed. This is so absolutely true, and I always reckon this to the fact when I wake up, and comment down below if some of you guys have this. When you wake up for whatever reason, we can get in kind of a panic, like what time is it? Am I late for something? Like I did that this morning and it's Father's Day and it's Sunday. I didn't have to be up, but sometimes our mind will obligate us to do something, like, oh, it's Father's Day, you should be cooking breakfast, you should be doing this and that, and it gets us to like in an ill state, right? Like where we feel rushed and then it's not relaxed. And then I simply say to myself out loud, you don't need to do anything, you don't have to do anything, there's nothing on the schedule, let it be that way for once, right? Because very rarely do we have times like this. And decide to feel good, feel relaxed, feel great. And there was a couple of things, circumstances right when I opened my eyes. I didn't see my phone where I normally keep it to charge it, and I use it for a lot of things. So I thought, oh, did it fall between something? What's going on? And then I took a deep breath. I said, none of that matters. All you need to do is go take a nice cool shower, wake up and flow into the day. Decide to feel good. Take a breath. Is anything stiff or not, not feeling great? Then you need to stretch what's happening. Really slow the thought process and decide to feel good, because once we do that, we have mental clarity, we know the next best thing to do, we physically start to feel better too, right? You ever wake up and you worry or you're in a rush, you can create problems physically within yourself. You can get headaches, you can get stomach aches because you make yourself anxious. So I have to do this as well for myself every morning and just say, you're in no hurry, all is well, you feel good, it's beautiful. I look outside the window, I see the sun shining, I decide I'm going to feel good and the day is going to be good. Makes all the difference really to just catch those thoughts, those runaway thoughts that want us to get ahead of ourselves, feel obligated, pressurize us. They're just not necessary. Let's just feel good and then we can start from there, and then the process is much better, right? Now I love this. As soon as I choose to see the light in the dark corners, I redirect my power towards what I want. Absolutely. So this could be in any situation, a confrontational thing where you're at work and somebody's really pushing their agenda or somebody's being accusatory, whatever it is. What happens is, I always see that as we start out in the middle of a room, right? And we have all the space of the room. It has cathedral ceilings. But as soon as something comes at us, we start to back ourselves away when we feel pressurized. So we start to get heading towards a corner where it gets dark and it's shadowy and we feel like there's less room to maneuver. What I do is I plant my feet right in the middle of that room, and I'm like, nobody has the power over to me to make me feel pressurized, angry, stressed, or anything. Only I can do that to myself. And if I firmly plant my feet in the middle of this room, I'm going to have all the square footage to operate. I'm going to have the high ceiling to look at. I'm going to be fine. So I redirect that. Right away I say, if somebody is coming at me a certain way, it's a projection of how they feel about the world and themselves. So if they feel stressed, they're going to try to bring stress to my door. Oftentimes people don't even realize how impatient they're behaving. I do this when I get in my car. I consciously make a choice to say out loud, I'm in no hurry. I left plenty of time. Because what happens is we just go back into the state we were prior. We're very, very habitual. So it's like, oh, I raced to the store yesterday, I'll race to the store today. Oh, I think I have to do this, that. Then we start to compile and add more in. And whenever we feel like we have a lot to do and a little bit of time to do it, that doesn't make us feel happy or lighthearted or joyful, right? So let's redirect that to, I have all the time and I'm going to allow for extra time when I leave. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to listen to music. I'm going to have a good time in my car. Whatever I'm doing at my job, I'm going to redirect that energy towards positivity, because when we do that, we're happy to be at our work, where it's more enduring. We have more enduring vitality when we do that. And yes, it takes a moment of pause to be conscious of that, of how we're acting, how we're feeling. What is your heart rate doing right now? Like, just let me ask you a question right now. While you're listening to this video, are you also trying to cook? Are you also on your iPad watching TV, doing your hair? Like, I like to listen to readers sometimes while I'm getting ready. That's fine. But sometimes if I find them on other devices, that means I'm giving already half of my energy is redirected into something else. So that feels pressurized. And then things start to feel like tasks instead of joyful, right? So this is just saying, let's be conscious of what we're doing and can we do one thing at a time. Now I love this. I'm going to pull some more and I'll give you an example too. This morning when I was getting my goodies ready to come outside and read, I was finding that I had 2 empty green bins that have these perfect holders for cards, my camera, my tripod, and everything. And what I had done prior was I started to load them up with jewelry and jewelry resources. And I thought, you allocate and bought those for the specific reason when you want to go outside. You can load up your decks and go outside easily when the idea strikes you. So I emptied them and, step by step, it's like just be methodical, know you have time. We don't have to be haphazard. We don't have to, you ever go in a grocery store too and you decide, I don't need a cart. I'm going to carry this. I'll put this gallon of milk over my pinky. I'll put this box of cereal in my arm. I'll put this 800-pound bag of cat food on my head. And all of a sudden you're just carrying so much stuff that your arms ache. And then you're impatient in line because you're uncomfortable. You have made yourself uncomfortable because you're carrying too much and there isn't any foreplanning. So just by a little bit of pre-planning, you can make your path a little smoother. And we're going to end on this. True manifesting is about receiving what is for the highest good for all. So I will do this in terms of, say, my family. If I know they really have a mindset and they want to go out and garden and mow the lawn and do a lot of things and I want to go out and read, I simply know that I don't have to do it at that second. I can wait for them to finish. I can study up, learn some things, meditate. So then it's good for all of us. We're all not trying to push our agenda. Same thing in a work and family environment. I love this. If we want to create a nice environment for our family and our friends, let's be upbeat and in a good mood and let's raise their vibration. Let's bring to their vision how we see them in a good way, how they are doing. Let's use positive reinforcement. Somebody's walks into the kitchen and they start to pick up. We don't start to say what a damn mess the kitchen is, how they make it so terrible, blah, 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 blah. We thank them for putting the effort of bringing their dishes in there and starting to clean up. You see what I mean? That's a whole different approach and nobody's defensive. People are happy to do for us when we are happy to receive it in a nice way. Now, it's about time. That breaks my heart when I see people start to do something for somebody else and somebody's like, it's about time. How much do you think that person wants to continue that nice behavior for that person when that's what they receive? So we manifest for the good of all when we raise a vibration and we show that we really care and we really appreciate somebody doing something for us. That makes all the difference. And so be conscious right before you speak. How are you speaking to your friends, to your family members, to your spouse, to your children? Take a breath and go, is this going to make them feel good about the situation, get them in a good mood and want them to be more charitable and helpful in the future? Or is it going to make them defensive and shut down and want them to go in their room? Even if we're surrounded by that, we don't have to project that back. I have huge debaters in my family. They like to debate everything. And if I'm not careful how I open a sentence, they'll charge right in. Because I've always allowed, I make fun of myself. And, I can be, self-deprecating and have a good time with that. But if somebody thinks that then that is a conversation, and I know some of my family operate like that, like, yay, we can make fun of somebody. I'm not all about that. So we have to watch how we open up conversations, and we can steer conversations by implementing positivity and just affirming what a good job somebody's doing and why you appreciate them. And I hear this a lot of time from couples counselors and experts. Somebody within a relationship needs and wants to hear that they are valuable and they are doing a good job. So it's not that hard to give it to them, is it? Like, thank you. Like, Ian hurt his foot, and this morning I realized he always has a glass of water by him wherever he is. He's really good about hydrating, and he didn't have any water, and I was about to come outside, and I just said, would you like me to replace your water before I go outside? And then he was like, oh, yes, please. And I thought, it's those little things that we notice about each other that show that we care, and it's important that we maintain those loving gestures towards one another, because it will make all the difference, and they will reciprocate because they will remember what we do for them, right? We're all in this together. So when we want to manifest something, let's do it for the highest good, for our family, for our friends, for, our people in our state, for people on our street. It will make a difference. So that is your daily pop, my lovelies. Love and light.